Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is literally my third time trying to record this tutorial because Fraps doesn't like recording full screen apparently, and Cam Studio is being a little biatch. Okay, so basically the main goal of this tutorial is to make UVs mirrored over to one side successfully. I'm going to run through this real quick because I am very agitated. If you'll notice, I'm also using a new version of 3D Studio Max, so none of my shortcut keys are going to be here, so bear with me. Okay, let's go. First thing we want to do is strategically select the edges that we know will loop around the center. If this is a perfectly symmetrical mesh, we should be able to just select a few edges and then loop them and have everything selected down the middle. I'm missing this one, so let me get that one also well. So everything down the middle should be selected. Alright, that's good. Now what we want to do is split that. This will split our object into two elements. Get rid of one of the objects, the elements, doesn't matter which one. Especially if this is your first time doing it. I'm going to add an Unwrap UVW modifier to this guy, to this girl, because she has boobs. Female boobs. Hit edit, and then go to face. Well, I've already done the unwrapping, but as you can tell, my UVs take up the entire space. So now that we have the Unwrap UVW modifier on her, what we're going to do is mirror her and mirror a copy of her, so that way she'll have two sides. Now with the new side, what we want to do is go back to edit, select all the faces, and down here there's going to be a little button. I don't know what it's called, but hit it. It's going to look like a cross on a grid. Hit it and it should turn into a right angle. Now go to either U or V. I prefer U because it's right there, and hit 1 and then enter. Right after you hit enter, and this is important, just click the back screen. If you accidentally scroll on your mouse, which I have done plenty of times while all of this is selected, it's just going to stretch into insane levels. And I honestly hope you can hear me because there's construction going on in my house, so I'm going to try to speak as loudly, but not overwhelmingly as I can, because I understand that sometimes people like to use headphones, and I don't want to kill anybody's eardrums. Oh, good lord, that was annoying. Okay, so now that that's all done, we'll go to either or, collapse it down to an editable poly, and then go to attach and attach the other side. Now, as is, we can't leave it like that because when we unselect it, that line that we have down there is going to bake. That's the same reason why we're doing this in the first place, because if we were to just like take half this mesh and bake the normals onto it, that line would show up in the normals. So this is why we're doing this, to avoid that line. So let's get rid of that line. And the reason it's there is because our mesh is still technically two pieces. So we go to the border selection and select all. This might not work for all cases, but for my case it works. You got to be mindful of the mesh that you're using. When you're looking at a tutorial, don't just copy and paste what they're doing. Try to apply what they're showing you to your own process. So that's selected. While holding the control key, we hit vertex. What it's going to do is select all our edge selections and convert them into vertex selections. This also applies for the other ones, but for this one I'm not going to go into that right now because I want to make this video as quick as possible. So with all those selected, we're going to weld them. You see, I'm gonna undo it. If you take note, our vertex count is 84. When we weld them, it should be half of that, and it is. So our vertex count is now 42. Take a look off of it, and there's no more line. None. Just UV seams. And speaking of UVs, let me show you that real quick and show you what it should look like. Yep, that looks fine. So what's going to happen when you bake, all the texture baking is going to happen on this set, and it's going to apply this set. Because if we didn't nudge this over, there'd probably be issues. There would definitely be issues. There's no probably. There'd definitely be issues, depending on the render you're also using. But for the most part, this should work. So that's it for this tutorial. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll be trying to put out more videos like this more often now that I have better equipment to use. And thank you for watching. Goodbye.